This video include images and or audio for some viewers may find upsetting and disturbing.
In this video, we will briefly and informatively discuss events that occurred in Indonesia and abroad during 2023. So don't forget to watch this video until the end.
Philip Mertens, a Suzy Air pilot from New Zealand, was taken hostage by the West Papua National Liberation Army, Free Papua Organization on February 7, 2023. Until now, Philip Mertens' condition is still not known for certain. Philip Mertens was born in Auckland, New Zealand. He studied at the International Aviation Academy at Christchurch Airport, New Zealand.
On February 6, 2023, a 7.8 magnitude earthquake rocked Turkey and Syria. This disaster was one of the strongest earthquakes ever recorded in the history of the two countries. Thousands of buildings collapsed, trapping many people under the rubble. Important infrastructure such as roads, bridges, and hospitals were badly damaged. Casualties were estimated at 59,259. 121,704 were injured and 259 were declared missing.
On February 20, 2023, a young man named David Ozora was abused by a man named Mario Dandi Satrio in South Jakarta, Indonesia. The incident began when David Ozora was involved in an argument with Mario Dandi in a cafe. Outside the cafe, Mario Dandi immediately beat David Ozora. Mario Dandi even kicked David Ozora in the head, who appeared to be unconscious. This incident of abuse went viral on social media. The video recording of the abuse was widely spread and drew criticism from various parties. On March 10, 2023, the police named Mario Dandi as a suspect. On June 13, 2023, Mario Dandi was sentenced to 12 years in prison by the public prosecutor. Meanwhile, Mario Dandi's father, who is a former official at the Directorate General of Taxes at the Ministry of Finance, Rafael Alun Trisambodo, was sentenced to 14 years in prison by the Corruption Eradication Commission, KPK, public prosecutor on the 11th of December 2023. Rafael was charged with receiving gratuities amounting to IDR 16.6 billion and committing money laundering crime. Rafael received gratuities from a number of taxpayers, both directly and through companies owned by his wife. Rafael Alun Trisambodo's verdict hearing will be held on February 22, 2024.
Abby Choi, a 28-year-old model and socialite from Hong Kong, was found murdered on February 24, 2023, 3 days after being reported missing, with her headless body found in a village in Tai Po, a suburb of Hong Kong. Police found Abby Choi's body parts in a refrigerator and a soup pot in a unit in Tai Po. Police determined that 6 suspects in this case, including Abby Choi's ex-husband Alex Kwong and his father, Kwong Kao, and his brother, Anthony Kwong, have been arrested and charged with murder.
On March 3, 2023, a major fire occurred at the Pertamina Plumpang Depot, North Jakarta. The fire killed 25 people and injured dozens more. The fire is thought to have occurred due to a fuel pipe leak. This fire is one of the worst fires that has ever occurred in Indonesia. This fire also caused huge losses.
On March 29, 2023, President Joko Widodo inaugurated the operation of the first phase of the Trans-Sulawesi train on the Makassar-Perper route. This project consists of 3 stages, namely Makassar-Perper, Perper-Palu, and Palu-Manado. Phase 1 of the Makassar-Perper route is 142 kilometers long. This train is able to reduce travel time from Makassar to Perper from 3 hours to just 1.5 hours.
On April 15, 2023, clashes broke out in Khartoum, the capital of Sudan, between 2 military factions, Sudanese Armed Forces, SAF, and Rapid Support Forces, RSF. The two are fighting for control of the transitional government after the 2021 coup that ousted Omar al-Bashir, Sudan's president for 30 years. An estimated 10,000 people died in this conflict, and another 12,000 were injured. International mediation efforts have so far failed to produce results, and the warring factions have both expired.
Johnny G. Plate, former Minister of Communications and Information Technology, was sentenced to 15 years in prison by the Corruption Crime Court at the Central Jakarta District Court on November 8, 2023. Plate was found guilty of committing a criminal act of corruption in the 4G base transceiver station, BTS, tower procurement project. This corruption case was revealed on May 17, 2023, after the Attorney General's office named Plate as a suspect. This case is one of the largest corruption cases involving high-ranking officials in Indonesia. State losses from the Johnny Plate corruption case are estimated at IDR 8.32 trillion.
A train accident involving 3 trains occurred in Odisha, India on Friday the 2nd of June, 2023 evening. The accident killed at least 296 people and injured more than 1,200 others. The exact cause of the accident is still unknown, but it is thought to have been caused by human negligence. This accident is one of the deadliest train accidents in India in recent years.
The police shooting case of a teenager of Algerian descent, Naal Mazouk, in the city of Nantes, France, on June 27, 2023, has sparked riots in various cities in France. The riots have been going on for several days and caused major damage in various places. Naal Mazouk, aged 17, was shot dead by police while driving a Mercedes with Polish license plates in a bus lane. Police said that Naal had ignored orders to stop, but Naal's family denied this.
Pondok Pesantren Al Zaitun, a leading Islamic educational institution in Indonesia, has been the center of attention and controversy over the past few years. The controversy was triggered by various factors, including allegations of deviation from religious teachings, violent practices, and non-transparent financial management. On July 20, 2023, the Indonesian government revoked the operational permit for the Al Zaitun Islamic boarding school. The government also named the founder of the Islamic boarding school, Panji Gumilang, as a suspect in a case of deviation from religious teachings.
The case of alleged insult to President Joko Widodo by political observer Rocky Gerung became one of the hotly discussed issues in Indonesia in 2023. This case started with Rocky Gerung's statement at the All Indonesian Workers' Union event on July 29, 2023. Rocky Gerung's statement sparked controversy and received criticism from various parties. A number of parties believe that Rocky Gerung's statement is an insult to President Jokowi.
The forest fires that occurred on Maui, Hawaii, on August 8 to 11, 2023, have claimed the lives of at least 110 people, forced tens of thousands of residents and tourists to evacuate the island, and destroyed the historic tourist town of Lahaina. The cause of the fire is still unknown, but it is thought to have been caused by humans. The fire was the deadliest forest fire in the United States since the fire that occurred in Cloquet, Minnesota, in 1918. It was also the largest forest fire ever to occur on Maui.
Major floods hit Hong Kong on September the 7th and 8th, 2023, causing significant damage and loss. The rainfall that fell during those 2 days reached 200 millimeters, which is the highest rainfall in the last 140 years. The floods have become the largest natural disaster that has occurred in Hong Kong in recent decades.
A magnitude 6.8 earthquake struck the Marrakech-Sofi region, Morocco, on September 8, 2023, causing significant damage and losses. The earthquake was the most destructive earthquake in Morocco since the 1960 Agadir earthquake, and the second deadliest earthquake of 2023, after the 2023 Turkey-Syria earthquake. The death toll from the earthquake reached 2,960 people, and another 5,674 people were injured.
Major floods hit Libya in September 2023, causing significant damage and loss. The floods killed more than 11,000 people, and displaced more than 100,000 people. The flooding began on September 5 and lasted for several days. Rainfall that fell during that period reached 200 millimeters, which is the highest rainfall in Libya's history. Heavy rainfall resulted in the collapse of 2 dams in the city of Derna, Libya, on September 11, 2023, killing more than 2,000 people and leaving thousands more missing.
President Joko Widodo inaugurated the Jakarta-Bandung Fast Train, KCJB, on October 2, 2023. The inauguration marked the operation of the first fast train in Indonesia and Southeast Asia. KCJB is 142 kilometers long, connecting East Jakarta with Padalarang in West Bandung Regency. The train has a top speed of 350 km per hour and can travel from Jakarta to Bandung in less than an hour.
An earthquake measuring 6.3 on the Richter scale rocked Herat province, Afghanistan, on October 7, 2023. The earthquake occurred at 1.30 local time. The epicenter of the earthquake was about 40 kilometers northwest of the city of Herat. The earthquake was felt over a wide area, including Iran and Pakistan. According to the World Health Organization, WHO, the earthquake caused more than 2,445 people to die, and more than 11,200 people were injured.
On October 7, 2023, the Palestinian militant group led by Hamas launched a major attack against Israel from the Gaza Strip, breaking through the Gaza-Israel barrier and forcing its way through the Gaza border crossing into nearby settlements and Israeli military installations. The attack sparked a war that erupted between Israel and Hamas. This conflict is the deadliest in the last 50 years, with more than 19,000 Palestinians killed and more than 1,275 Israelis killed.
On November 22, 2023, Polda Metro Jaya named the chairman of the Corruption Eradication Commission, KPK, Firly Bahuri as a suspect in the alleged extortion case against former Minister of Agriculture Cyril Yassin Limpo. Firly is suspected of extorting IDR 1.5 billion from Cyril Yassin Limpo so that he will not be prosecuted, in a suspected bribery case related to the procurement of an agricultural product reporting information system. Meanwhile, Cyril Yassin Limpo, former Minister of Agriculture, was named a suspect by the Corruption Eradication Commission on October 11, 2023. He is suspected of committing criminal acts of corruption in the form of extortion in office, gratification, and money laundering. The Corruption Eradication Committee, KPK, has confiscated a number of pieces of evidence from this case, including IDR 13.9 billion in cash, documents, and communications equipment. The determination of the suspect Furli Bayoui is the first case to ensnare a KPK leader. This case has caused commotion and losses for the KPK institution and a bad image for eradicating corruption in Indonesia. This case has made the public pessimistic about efforts to eradicate corruption in Indonesia.
Mount Merapi, an active volcano in West Sumatra, erupted on December 3, 2023, at around 14.54. The eruption caused volcanic ash as high as 3,000 meters from the top of the crater. Based on a report from the National Disaster Management Agency, 24 climbers died due to volcanic ash.
Thank you for watching and liking this video. If you like it, help share it with your friends, okay?